Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, by leaving multiple comments, by telling me what your favorite Christmas movie is. Yeah, that works. Or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin back above 50K as market recovery begins. There was a, for some reason, quite turbulent evening. As I began to lay myself in bed, the cryptocurrency market was in green. A lot of coins were, I don't want to say pumping, but they were definitely moving upward. Over the night, prices fell a tiny bit. Bitcoin is roughly around $50,100, depending on the second that you're actually looking at it. A lot of altcoins are doing pretty okay. But for some reason, it even says it right here, Bitcoin was rejected by the $52,000 psychological level. Still not really sure what's going on because we keep only having amazing Bitcoin news every single day. This one says, crypto analyst says Bitcoin could see a parabolic rally. This one says, Fundstrat's chief strategist predicts Bitcoin still has exponential growth ahead. Across the board today in Bitcoin price news, it was basically Bitcoin's going to go back up. Bitcoin's going to go higher. Bitcoin's going to go extremely high. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. You get the idea. This one says, and I mean in the most surprising news that we could have ever had, because this doesn't happen every single time that prices drop. It says Bitcoin whales accumulated $3.4 billion with a B dollars in Bitcoin during the market panic, according to crypto insights firm Santiment. For those of you, you should all know Santiment at this point. They're the company, them and Chainalysis. They basically look through blockchain transactions to see exactly where money's moving, how fast it's moving, who it's moving, not, face-wise who it's moving to, but if they see a certain wallet has 38,000 Bitcoin, and this wallet is accumulating more and more Bitcoin every single day, they usually hit their radar to see how big that this whale actually is. So, as predicted, and it wasn't difficult to predict it, is that every single time that we've seen a price dip, market panic, a flush out, a whatever, get rid of normal people in the cryptocurrency space, we always get news that the richest people on the planet, the largest, whaliest addresses, accumulated massive amounts of Bitcoin. This usually is followed by prices increasing once again. I mean, how they managed to acquire $3.4 billion worth of anything and really not have its price move dramatically back up is, I guess, a bit of magic for all of us. And this one says, Ethereum remains supported. What could spark a fresh rally? Bitcoin moving up. I answered the question. Anyway, not a lot of price news at all. I think price news tends to be more concrete when we can look at actual prices, or people making these articles can look at prices and they go, well, Bitcoin's up by 15%, therefore it has to be bullish, and let's write tons of articles. But I was quite surprised with Bitcoin trending upward sideways-esque, that there was so much optimistic news about Bitcoin's price and where we're going to go. People are still expecting some type of a Santa Claus near Christmas price rally thing. If you read through a couple of the articles, a lot of them are mentioning Q1 of next year as the, big shebang for prices to really move to where they said they were going to move this year. But alas, we have to wait. And once again, we can't control time, so time will move forward and we'll get there eventually. Anyway, that's all the price news. And without further ado, let's move on. Also, and I mean, this was all over the place news. I'm not sure why such news is always so popular, but alas, here we are. The U.S. Senate Banking Committee will hold a hearing on stablecoins next week as regulatory pressure on fiat-pegged crypto assets mounts up. The U.S. Senate's Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee will be holding a hearing on the 14th of December to discuss stablecoins. The meeting will be titled, Stablecoins, How Do They Work? How Are They Used? And What Are Their Risks? Will be streamed live from the committee's website. The witnesses have been confirmed, as I'm not reading all those names. It's like 7 people. Good luck to them. The hearing follows a round of letters sent out by the Senate Banking Committee Chair Sherrod Brown, targeting CEOs of major stablecoin issuers. The letters sent out on the 23rd of November were sent to Coinbase, Gemini, Paxos, Trust Token, Binance, Center Sherrod. I have no idea what that last one is. Seeking clarification on redemption processes, issuance, and trading of stablecoins, presumably as a basis to work for the upcoming hearing next week. For those of you who are completely confused, what's happening is U.S. lawmakers in general are coming to the conclusion that they cannot efficiently, how they would like, control the cryptocurrency space. While you can tax it, you can tell people to tell you where their transactions are being sent, etc., etc. The only way that they can actually get control of the market is by attacking stablecoins. And, it is what it is. The only people who actually care about stablecoins are people who are trading. That's really it. I'm going to assume that 99.9% of you watching this right now have not invested in stablecoins, as they have a stable price, and probably are not using them on your daily unless you are trading in cryptocurrencies. Part of the issue has to do with the fact that they cannot explicitly say or have control over where Bitcoin is mined, who's using it, when it's being used, where it's being sent, yada, yada, yada. However, as stablecoins look similar to fiat currencies, this is why people around the world are now trying to get control over them. It's not simply that they are mimicking the US dollar or mimicking the yen or mimicking the euro. It has to do with the fact that stablecoins are actually better than fiat currencies, and we'll go over that in just an actual couple of seconds. So yeah, this was very popular news. I only have 2 tabs open. It seemed pointless to have 1,000 more. I never know why news like this ends up being more popular than whales accumulating $3.4 billion worth of Bitcoin, but that's just the cryptocurrency space tying directly into this news. Japan's Financial Services Agency said on Monday that it seeks to limit the issuance of stablecoins to banks and wire transfer companies in 2022, according to a report by the Nikkei Asia. The FSA said limiting the issuance of stablecoins to banks and wire transfer companies will help mitigate risks, as those companies are legally obligated to protect customer assets. The risks has nothing to do with what you think it is. It is the risk to the local currency. We've gone over this before for those of you who have not been here. The idea is that as fiat currencies print themselves into oblivion, this is no longer a tinfoil hat thing. We see this explicitly every day. We have had even confirmation by the people who are printing money who have gone on stage and said, yes, we are printing way too much money. The idea comes from the fact that banks can't actually hold the pressure anymore of what they've been trying to do, as far as I'm pretty sure that you've gone to a bank many times, maybe even years ago before you got into the cryptocurrency space, trying to figure out exactly how the bank could make you money. Many moons ago, I remember when I was younger, you would walk by the bank and they would have these gigantic signs making sure that you knew that if you left your money with them, they would give you around 5 to 6% interest on your money. Pretty huge chunk of change before the cryptocurrency space came about, but alas, 5 to 6% on your money for doing absolutely nothing, especially back then when inflation was roughly around 1 to 2%, you were doing pretty fine. With inflation now around 6 to 7+% just within the United States, and you going to the bank and getting a 0.02% interest rate, it just no longer really adds up. We went over this before. This was months and months and months ago when we were talking about the actual pressure that's being put on fiat currencies is not only coming from Bitcoin and Ethereum as these potential things in the future that could eventually hit $1 million and dethrone current fiat currencies that are king right now, but it has to do with the fact that on many platforms, I'm on Binance right now, but this is simply just Binance because it was the first thing I could think of. The actual annual rate that you would receive for simply holding any coin or even a stable coin far outsurpasses what any actual bank could do. The idea is it's the actual efficiency. These are the risks that they talk about. It's not consumer risks. It is risk to the actual fiat currency of that country. Imagine being able to have a digitized version of the US dollar that you can move around at will whenever you want on any platform. Doesn't sound believable because that's not how the current system actually works, but the cryptocurrency space actually works that way. You can send it to any platform, even with where's the I was looking for the mouse. I was like, I can't find it. Even with just Tether, you get 4.7% back. While that may not be the 6, 7, 8% that's needed to cover the current inflation rate of the US dollar, it's still 4.77% higher than you would get from any bank within the United States. And this is just for like these random coins that they actually have over here. This is on DeFi staking. They even have like other savings accounts where you can get 3% back on your Bitcoin annually. Banks cannot do this. And governments know that banks cannot do this. And part of the risk is that also before we were talking about this a couple of years ago, a lot of countries are more concerned with stable coins because they see the volatility in the cryptocurrency market and therefore don't really care about it, or so they say. However, the idea is that a lot of people around the world have been doing commerce between themselves with stablecoin. They have completely circumvented the idea of using a local currency, especially if you are trading between the US and Mexico, if you are trading between the US and Canada, if you are simply, we had the news years ago, people who were trading between Canada and Russia. Before, you had to take your physical paper money in your pocket, walk across the border, go to one of those little kiosk booths where they would charge you about 4 or 5% of you trading your money. They would give you back the local money, and then you were able to actually trade in it. So what people were doing is that they were simply using Tether between Russia and China back and forth and simply using that as a way to commerce between themselves. So, yes, normal people don't and won't care about any of these hearings or meetings that are currently taking place. Governments are falling over themselves to try and figure out a way to get control over these things. Other people, so the major stable coins are going to be hyper regulated, but people have already figured out ways to make like algorithmically stable coins that don't or aren't even based off of like actual US dollar holdings. So those are also going to become bigger in the future as well, especially if they're on like delegated programs or platforms where people can actually like vote and see that these things are actually real. Anyway, that's the stablecoin news. I'm sure you weren't expecting that today. But once again, regulators are trying to get control any way possible. And this is what makes them feel comfortable at the moment. That's the stablecoin news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, travel website Travala has announced that Shiba Inu has been added to its website as a payment method and can be used to book over 3 million travel products worldwide. In addition, Shiba Inu won the token battle a few days ago against Floki. Fantastic. Here's a tweet for it right here. This was also very popular news. I am not sure what movement was in the wind or exactly what's taking place. But this was a very heavy Shiba Inu coin news day. This is not the only Shiba Inu coin news that they were added to Travala. I believe this is it right here as well. It says huge Ethereum whale has added 72 billion Shiba Inu to its portfolio, basically meaning, or rather the news is a whale wallet that has been looked at, probably by the major sentiment chainalysis companies, is now also talking about that the larger, this is not the first time that this has happened either. I usually leave this news out of many other videos because it seems a bit pointless to say, hey, a rich person bought more Shiba Inu. But these are popping up more and more and more every single day. Who knows what's happening? Who knows what's planned? I have no idea exactly what's going on, but there's tons of Shiba Inu news once again floating around today. So the news being one wallet bought 72 billion Shiba Inu. They also have, I think it was like, what was it, the 30, 40, 50 million something dollars worth of Ethereum as well. Their entire portfolio is $300 million in assets, so must be nice. I'm not really sure what to say there. So that's the other part of the Shiba Inu news. There was more of it, I promise you. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, the world's largest NFT marketplace, OpenSea, has been facing a sort of community backlash after news broke out that the company was planning to go public on a stock exchange. The news was that the Ethereum-based OpenSea shall be raising funds through an initial public offering, or an IPO, after the company appointed its new CFO, Chief Financial Officer Brian Roberts. However, a day after facing massive community backlash, OpenSea's CFO has issued a clarification. He said there was an inaccuracy reporting about OpenSea's plans. Let me set the record straight. There's a big gap between thinking about what an IPO might eventually look like and actively planning one. We are not planning an IPO, and if we ever did, we would look to involve the community. For those of you scratching your heads or have no idea what's going on, there was news a day and a half ago. For those of you who don't know, OpenSea is the largest non-fungible token platform. It has been expected that if at any point they planned on issuing anything extra, such as an OpenSea coin, they would do that on the platform, therefore sprinkling the coins and all the people who've been using OpenSea, and therefore kind of mimicking in a sort of way the same exact thing that Binance Coin does. Binance Coin rewards you for using the coin, for trading with the coin, for being on the platform. 200 million Binance Coin, they keep earning on the Binance Coin until there's only 100 million. It's a rare commodity, etc., etc. You get the point. People were assuming that OpenSea would do the exact same thing, and as they are in the cryptocurrency space, that instead of going the traditional route of trying to be listed on a stock exchange, they would go the crypto route and simply make their own coin, have a burn mechanism, have whatever magical things people wanted, and therefore that would be their Binance coin, but it would be OpenSea's coin. However, news broke out, came out somewhere. People were reporting that apparently OpenSea, as large as they are, were thinking about going public, and people lost it. And I mean, I made sure it's nice to just kind of step back if you ever have the opportunity to do so. Don't always engage in conversation. Simply look at what people were talking about. It was dramatic. People were really losing their minds over the idea that they would rather go public than release a token that would benefit people who are using their platform. However, I guess the clarification has been clarified. Who knows the true story? I assumption, I don't know, that they were probably looking to go public. We had this news at the beginning of the year, not about OpenSea, but every major cryptocurrency platform has at some point said that they are thinking about going public in some sort of way. We heard it from Coinbase, we heard it from Binance, we heard it from Gemini, etc. You get the entire idea. So this was also quite popular news. I hope that everyone can calm down now. I don't think so. Until they release their own coin, I assume they will go public at some point. I'm always really, and I understand the idea of going public has to do with being more mainstream, having more traditional financial players know about your platform and also being able to invest in you. But I mean, you have to understand that if you're in the cryptocurrency space, you kind of have to stay in the cryptocurrency space. You can't really backtrack and say, well, this was great. Thank you for everything you've done for the platform. And we're going to go to the NASDAQ right now. So we'll see what happens. I assume we will get news before Christmas or some type of a rumor that OpenSea is going to be releasing. I assume they'll call it an OPC coin, an OS coin. I don't know. It's going to be something coin. Anyway, that's the OpenSea news. And yeah, let's move on. Next up in your daily dose of rich people talking about Bitcoin news, the chairman of Starwood Capital Group, his name is billionaire Barry Stanlicht. I don't know why it has. Anyway, has shared his view on how Bitcoin could grow to be worth $1 million a coin. That means this guy holds a lot of Bitcoin. For those of you who are unaware, anytime that we get news that a rich person has gone on TV to talk about how much they believe Bitcoin is going to be in the future, or even Ethereum. Remember all those people I told you? I said when these people went on the news and they were like, yeah, I definitely see a 100,000 Ether coming. I was like, I'm just going to assume this man has more than one Bitcoin in his pocket. He calls the cryptocurrency a smart hedge, in a world where the government just keeps on printing money. Billionaire Barry Standlish, I don't know why that's his full name, the chairman of Starwood Capital Group, talked about the future outlook for cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin, Friday while speaking at a Bloomberg event in Miami. Standlish runs Starwood Capital Group, a private equity fund, money, yada, yada, noting that he calls his Bitcoin position a great hedge. The billionaire was asked, is that how we should all be thinking? And Standlish said, yes. He explained that we live in a world where the government just prints money and prints money and prints money. A little repetitive. Oh, fourth one, and prints money, and doesn't seem to have any consequences, noting that sometimes that will end, the billionaire stressed. The only thing that they can't make more of is Bitcoin. Oh, he has a lot of Bitcoin. Oh boy, that means he's probably one of those wallets we've been talking about. Anyway, this was quite popular news. Rich people talking about Bitcoin usually gets the market going, if you catch my drift. So cool. Another rich person. We have never said the name Barry Standlish on this channel. So cool. I mean, I wasn't convinced before that Bitcoin was it, but now that billionaire Barry has told me, I just know that my investment must be sound. Anyway, that's the billionaire. Imagine that's his actual full name. Like you look at his ID and it says billionaire Barry Standlish. What a time to be alive. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, in super mega popular news of the day. French video game publisher UbiSoft, not sure how you want to pronounce it, announced its first foray into NFTs via a new platform called UbiSoft Quartz to launch in beta this week with Ghost Recon Breakpoint for PC players on Ubisoft Connect. Here's the thing right here. It's a ghost helmet and it's purple pants. According to a statement shared on the website, players can get collectible pieces of Ubisoft's game world called Digits, which are the first NFT playables in a AAA game and running on energy efficient technology. Digits, such as in-game vehicles, or probably can't say that, will be released in limited quantities and editions and rewarded to early adopters for free on the 9th, 12th, and 15th in the US, Canada, and apparently it will also be available in Brazil, Spain, France, Belgium, Germany, Italy, and Australia. So, the news is, for those of you who've never played a Ubisoft game, go play one. They're actually quite fun. They make a lot of RPGs and people wearing armor and fighting monsters and epic battles and crazy music, and you've heard it. Anyway, so yeah, they have announced that they are officially getting into the NFT space. This is one of the other things that we discussed about before. NFTs are going to be everywhere, and one of the main places a lot of people believe that they are going to be is in gaming. A lot of times, maybe you have played a video game and you really liked a sword or you really like some kind of armor. You will now be able to NFT these. You will know that they are, limited in quantity. And you will be able to, at some point, move that from one Ubisoft game to another and have that armor with the same exact stats and the same exact power and the same exact all these other things. For those of you who don't know, just a little side note, these are called skins in game. I know a lot of you are like, yes, we know. But for the other 45, 50% of people, the skin market in games is humongous. Not a word, but you understand exactly what I'm talking about. It's a multi-billion dollar franchise, world thing. Where basically, if you are lucky enough, you create one of these assets, you put it into a game, and you basically make $200,000 a day for the rest of your life because people keep buying your armor and stuff. So yeah, very big market. Everyone's completely losing their minds. It was also mentioned that these NFTs are going to be on Tezos. I'm pretty sure you can all imagine what happened to Tezos. I'm probably going to try and get these just because I think I'm, just giving you my idea. Video game NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. And if you get some of the first ones, you're kind of ahead of the race. Because usually, if you look back even like at things that like Pokemon cards and stuff like that, if you got the earliest Pokemon cards, like in the beginning, they would just say, oh, wow, it's a Blastoise. Wow, Charizard, 100 attack. I can't believe it. Then 15 years later, these are the rarest and the first cards that ever came out, and therefore they have a bit more value, especially as far as I can tell from what I've been reading. These are going to be given away on the platform. And I mean, realistically, if an NFT is, even $9 to buy is not that bad, especially if it's an NFT. You can bring it across the entire Tezos chain. I'm going to stop talking about this. Anyway, yeah, Ubisoft launches in-game NFTs using Digit's system. Unsurprisingly, Tezos' price jumped by 37%. I believe it is currently up by 28% the last time that I looked. That was based off of Bitcoin like slumping to the side a little bit, and therefore the weight was pushing down Tezos as well. Fantastic. I wish that we lived in a world where we heard news that Bitcoin was being bought up by billionaires, and Bitcoin also went up by 37%, but Twilight Zone and all that stuff. Anyway, that's the Tezos Ubisoft NFT news, and let's move on. And to finish things off, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency platforms, Bybit, that is BYBIT, has announced the listing of Shiba Inu, which is now listed on major crypto asset trading platforms. That's a weird sentence. According to an announcement from Bybit on social media, the meme-inspired cryptocurrency is now trading against Tether. Is that it? Wow. The new listing is a spot trading pair, and it says Shib Army. Are you ready? Shib to Ustata is now available for spot trading on Bybit, and they have like a little icon with the little dogs, adorable. Yeah. An enormous amount of Shiba Inu news. I'm not sure why so much of it was there today, but alas, it's just how the cryptocurrency market works. And yeah, let's moving on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Blockchain Simplified, and let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudd, Wiser Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something and the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655 and Carlos was like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Pat Turnoster. There we go. Conan, Don't Skip Black Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana is my place. Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Ebilbiophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moha Maroni, Master Adventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold E3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavoti, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness Monks Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Hello to you out there. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who clicked like, who clicked subscribe, who left comments, who told me what their favorite Christmas movie is. It's really funny. I'm gonna have a little Christmas shindig, if you will, and it's basically has anyone ever had what they call like an ugly sweater party? Can't wait. Basically, you go to like your local thrift shop, secondhand store, any other store and find like the ugliest Christmas sweater that you can, because they're always there. You basically invite a whole bunch of friends over, have hot chocolate, sit by the fireplace, watch Christmassy movies. It's really fun. Or maybe I just like Christmas a little bit too much. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, I don't know how I got to that sentence, but Christmas, yeah, at the moment, Bitcoin is currently at 50,457 US dollars. It is down by 1.6%. Here's the late night volatility. Not sure what's going on. Binance coin looks like it's trying to move back up. Solana is down by 6%. Polkadot is up by 1.7%. Where the really crazy coins, Uniswap is up by 2%. It looks like a lot more than 2%, but that's a really dramatic increase right there. Litecoin is up by 3%. Polygon is up by 4%. Chainlink is up by 11%. No Chainlink news. It's just simply moving up in price. Lumens is up by 2%. Where's the other really crazy one that was pumping? There we go. Tezos is up by 27% at the momento. What else is there? EOS, for some reason, is up by 12.4%. I'm not sure why. There was no EOS news at all and has not been for the last 2 or 3 weeks. The last time we got EOS news was that they were trying to launch their own cryptocurrency exchange called Bullish. Yeah. I am fearful for this exchange because it could be absolutely wonderful, but I have a very strange feeling the moment you click on it, you're going to have to give your ID and all your other information and stuff on it as well. Anyway, to put that point into context, the last time that we saw EOS's price moving up like this was about a week before we had actual news that EOS was doing something. So I'm going to assume, as there was no EOS news anywhere, that people behind the scenes who know that this is going to happen, my imagination, are accumulating up EOS before we get the actual news, because that's the same. It happened that way last time. I think EOS was like $1 something, and then it moved up to 2, and then it moved up to 3, and I was like, why is EOS moving up for the last 3 weeks? And then we got news that they were releasing a cryptocurrency exchange. So unless there's somebody who really likes the word EOS and they just bought $500 million worth of EOS because they only have a market cap of $3.5 billion. Anyway, I do hope that you've all enjoyed today's Wednesday, halfway through the week. Whoop, whoop. I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are. Wherever you might be on this wacky planet, I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, supporting, or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.